Welcome, everybody. I'm Courtney Hitt, and I am so thrilled that you are all joining us today. Sharon Hirsch and I have had the pleasure of working together to make this event happen for our dear friend, Katherine. We met during our time in Leadership Plano, Class 37. Best class ever.
Best class ever.
She was really crucial in launching the Plano Art Walk with our classmates as well. Several of them are here today, too. So you probably know about Katherine Chan Goodwin's many years of support for several different community and education organizations. But you may not know that Katherine has also been a longtime supporter of the Plano arts scene as well. So here to tell us more about that is Susie Jones, the executive director of this beautiful facility we are gathered in today, the Art Center of Plano. Please welcome Susie Jones.
Thank you. It is a pleasure here, and it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you here. As Courtney and Katherine's, Courtney said, and Katherine's campaign rented the facility. You can also rent the facility anytime you want to and come back and see beautiful exhibitions like this one by Hubert Moore. This is our Black History exhibition, Black History Month exhibition that's been up all of February and all of March. So we're very pleased to have this. Now I'm going to take off this name tag because I'm also citizen Susie Jones, and I've had the distinct pleasure of knowing Katherine a very long time. Katherine rented an office from the Art Center when we were located at 18th and H, the Olney Davis house, and so we became friends and colleagues and worked together. And I loved watching her. I was a young mother, and my daughter was young in school. Katherine's kids were a little older, and I got to watch her navigate her way through PTA, and I thought I'm going to do that too, and I did. And I've watched her support this community through where I work, which I might have mentioned a moment ago. But at Barron Elementary, we worked together on projects, and it's just amazing how much you give back to this community, and I appreciate you so much. And I am so glad you all are here to support her as well, because we need good, solid school board members like yourself. So thank you so much for being here, and I won't take any more time.
I'd like to start off by introducing our MC for the evening, Bob Kerr. The Plano Chamber named Bob Small Business Person of this year. On top of his successful business, Bob is active in numerous organizations in Plano. Leadership Plano Class 36, CASA of Collin County, the Parks and Rec Commission, the Hendricks Scholarship Foundation, the Plano Chamber of Commerce, and the Plano Rotary Club. Bob?
Thank you very much. So how Katherine is it that we are combining the love of art and the Art Center of Plano with education and PISD? Thank you all for being here. While art really isn't my thing, I do understand the importance of it, and I know what I like. And I know what I like when it comes to a trustee as well. A trustee has to be knowledgeable. They have to have demonstrated they care about kids and care about the community. They have to be an effective leader. They have to have the support of their family. They absolutely must be inclusive. And they have to have guts. I just described Katherine. I was standing with a group of people not that long ago when Katherine ran the idea of running for trustee by us. And my answer was, do it. I don't think she even finished the sentence. I think I'd interrupt her. Just do it. Because I think she's the right person for that. And I'm really excited that you're running. Thank you all again for your support for Katherine. It is my distinct honor to introduce several people who know Katherine well and strongly believe that Plano needs Katherine on the school board. We're going to hear about other community areas where Katherine is serving, and this involvement demonstrates why Katherine is going to make a great trustee. So we have a couple videos we're going to start with. I will go ahead and introduce both of them, and we'll play them back to back. First one is from Barron Elementary School parents, PTA. So most of us stop volunteering from PTA once our kids have moved on to another school or graduate. No, not Katherine. She has served on the executive board of every PTA for every Plano ISD school that her children, Chloe and Ben, attended. Even though her youngest graduated from high school years ago, Katherine continues to serve as a treasurer for the PTA for Barron Elementary. Imagine that. So who do we have to thank for Katherine turning her attention to public office? Well, that responsibility falls squarely on Angela Miner. She and her husband, Pat, both served as former Plano City Council persons. Before that, Angela was the president of the Council of PTAs in Plano. The Miners are longtime public servants in a broad array of civic, educational, and community endeavors. Now retired to the Greek Isles, they didn't want to miss a chance. Yeah, be nice. They didn't want to miss this chance to say something about Katherine, so we'll let that video roll. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sonia Valdez,
And I'm Cynthia Galson.
and we are parents and board members from Barron Elementary School, where Katherine Goodwin volunteers as our treasurer. She joined us 3 years ago during the hardships of COVID when we were struggling building our school back together. On top of being involved with other organizations, she took the time to volunteer at Barron and helped our struggling PTA board. As a mom with previous years of PTA experience, we knew she was qualified to help us. She came in with an open and supportive mindset. Katherine has helped tremendously at Barron with our finances as our treasurer, but doesn't let that role limit her from contributing to other aspects of the PTA. She goes beyond everyone's expectations and helps other board members when needed. She has helped organize events such as Fall Festival, Multicultural Nights, the school dance, and many more. She has helped with fundraising such as Penny Wars, Spirit Nights, and dealing with endless vendors. She has helped to grow our membership with frequent interactions amongst parents and school leaders and building a community of trust. She has been at our school from the early hours of dawn to late evenings. Now that is dedication.
She has equipped us with the tools and knowledge necessary to be a strong PTA. She has mentored us and instilled us with confidence as a board, as a woman, and as mothers.
We think she would be a good trustee because she truly listens to your ideas and concerns. She helps wherever she is needed without hesitation and guides you. She is resilient during adversity and stands up for what is right. She has not only become a mentor, but a friend. We are forever grateful to her commitment and dedication to not only the school, but to the district. She continues to put the importance of school and children first.
That is why we support Katherine Goodwin as School Board Trustee for PISD.
Hello and good afternoon. We're Pat and Angela Miner, former City Council members and Plano ISD PTA Council President. In our combined 48 years of community service in the Plano community, we've seen a variety of candidates for various offices, and we're sure you have as well.
And during my time with the PTAs over the years, one person of many that I got to know was Katherine Goodwin. She exhibited not just her great business sense and ability to get things done, but also her heart and genuine desire to do good within the school community as well as the Plano community at large. That's why several years ago, I encouraged and supported Katherine to run for PISD School Board. While the results weren't what we wanted, thankfully she's back and making another run for a seat this year. Timing and character couldn't be more important than this year's elections for school trustees, as there are a number of folks in Plano and Austin that are extremely set in changing the public education landscape, one that could and will prove very detrimental to our children's educational quality for decades to come.
And it goes without saying that electing the right people for office is very critical. That's where you come in. Katherine needs your vote, as well as your friends' votes. Katherine's counting on your support and vote just as much as you're depending on her to continue doing the best things for our children's futures in public education, as well as supporting our teachers and support staff. Katherine's a true servant leader with great business sense, who's personable and has natural leadership talent. She cares. She's putting Plano's children's educational future at the forefront, as well as maintaining Plano ISD's sterling quality.
So we ask you to please support and vote for Katherine Goodwin for Plano ISD Trustee Place 7. When you vote, please encourage your friends to vote for Katherine, and if possible, go as a group and have fun voting together.
So please remember, the future of Plano's children and their educational quality is in your hands. Please mark your ballot for Katherine Goodwin, Plano ISD Trustee, Place 7. Thank you.
Straight from the land of Socrates, what can I say? Our next speaker is Joy Hinkleman. She's been with Plano West Rotary for 3 years and is the current president. She has a lot to say about the impact that Katherine has made as a Rotary volunteer, but she also knows Katherine through her day job as the executive director for the Wellness Center for Older Adults at Plano's Sam Johnson Recreation Center for adults 50 plus. Joy knows the many ways that Katherine has worked for seniors in Plano and North Texas as a member of Plano's Senior Advisory Board and a long-term care ombudsman. Yet another public service provided by Katherine. Joy.
Hi, everybody. It's my honor to stand up here and talk a bit about Katherine. As Bob said, I don't know her from the PTA standpoint. David, stop it. I don't know her from the PTA standpoint, but from Rotary. So Katherine joined Plano West Rotary with us in 2020 after volunteering for quite a bit, doing the food drives with Barron, Armstrong, and Douglas. So she was there every day. We did 3 a week, and she never missed a shift, and it was all 3 schools every week. And I think a lot of times she was out there by herself, and it was the heat of the summer, and she was melting away, but she still got out there, and she did it with a smile on her face. And she then turned around and came to Rotary and attended the meeting. So Katherine is very loyal. And I cannot think of a better person to stand up for and make sure that the Plano ISD kids are taken care of. I'm McKinney, but I know Katherine will do fabulous, and she has a true servant heart, and I know that she would give every ounce of her being to make sure that those kids are taken care of. So, thank you, Katherine.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Plano West Rotary's newest member, Sumbul Zeb. Sumbul spent several years in the office of Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, and she's the co-founder of Get Out the Muslim Vote Texas. She is the past president of the Muslim Democratic Caucus of Texas. She currently serves Girls Inc. of Tarrant County and is a board member of Keep Plano No. 1, and has also volunteered over 20 different congressional, presidential, and local campaigns. While Sumbul is obviously no stranger to public service, she is an example of the impact that Katherine has on our next generation of leaders. But I'll let her tell that story.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so excited to be here, Katherine, supporting you. I'm not the greatest public speaker, so I wrote stuff down so I can, be a little easier. I kept meeting Katherine through various organizations here in Plano. I'd go to volunteer at something and Katherine would be there. I'd go to whatever this was and Katherine would be there. And I also met her through Plano Rotary. Actually, part of the reason I actually joined Plano Rotary officially was because of Katherine. And the more I learned about her life story and her public service, the more I was impressed and the more I was inspired by her. I love seeing another Asian American woman like myself so involved locally and in the greater community, and who is making the sacrifice to run, because it is difficult to run for office. We know that anyone that runs makes a lot of sacrifices. I've helped with a lot of different campaigns, I've helped with a lot of different candidates, but Katherine is special. I thought about running myself, and I was asking different people for advice, and I asked Katherine. And Katherine's advice, what I thought was so different about that was that she was very, very sincere in her advice. It was honest to goodness advice, something that you would tell your sister, and I really appreciated that. And Katherine's, her work here in the city of Plano, her dedication to Plano ISD, one of the reasons, my husband is supposed to be here, he's late, I told him he should be here somewhere maybe, but one of the reasons I made my husband move to Plano from Dallas was because of the schools. And I know that with Katherine on the school board, Plano ISD is going to continue to have those schools, those high quality schools, and schools that welcome children that look like our children. So thank you, Katherine, for running, and I know everyone here is supporting Katherine, but please make sure and get your friends to come out and support Katherine as well.
Thank you very much. Now on to someone who needs no introduction. I'll give it anyway because she absolutely deserves one. Katherine Chan Goodwin and her husband Thomas moved to Plano as newlyweds 33 years ago. Their two adult children, Chloe and Ben, are graduates of Plano Senior High. Katherine learned the value of education from her father. He came to this country and he could barely speak English. With hard work, perseverance, he earned a master's degree and a PhD, and went on to lead research at the USDA for almost 40 years. Education was the key to his success and essential to his family's American dream. Katherine is a successful business person in her own right, community volunteer, long-term leader in the Plano ISD PTAs. Professionally, she consults and speaks on change management for employers and their organizations. Previously, she founded and served as CEO of a commercial real estate company for 24 years after a long career at EDS in human resources. In preparation for the challenge a trustee must face and the bridges she must build, Katherine has completed a master's program in conflict resolution. As noted earlier, Katherine served for 16 years on the executive board of every PTA for every Plano ISD school that her children attended. She is the proud recipient of Texas PTA Lifetime Membership Award. 8 years after her youngest child graduated from high school, Katherine continues to serve in the PTA. She's also a member of Plano ISD Diversity Advisory Committee and Plano ISD Council of PTA's Anti-Racism Committee. A graduate of Leadership Plano, Katherine is currently on the board of directors of both the Art Center of Plano and Plano West Rotary Club, and serves as treasurer in both organizations. Katherine is a Rotary International Paul Harris Fellow, was honored with the Rotary International District 5810 Service Above Self Award. Katherine also serves the older adult community as a volunteer certified long-term care ombudsman, and is a member of the City of Plano Senior Advisory Board. She currently serves on a tax increment financing and reinvestment zones 2 and 3 boards. Ladies and gentlemen, and any kids we have here today, let me present our candidate for PISD Board of Trustees, Place 7, Katherine Chan Goodwin.
Y'all gonna make me cry. Y'all are gonna make me cry. I'm telling you. So if you haven't figured it out already, I'm Katherine Chan Goodwin, running for Plano ISD Trustee Place 7. Thank you all for coming today. You guys, this is so great. To hear me out today, and thank you to all of my partners in service. You said such kind words about me. So now the soft gloves are going to come off, okay, guys? My opponent in this race declined an invitation to a candidate forum because, and I quote, he would hate to take time away from a candidate that shares your values. So does that mean he doesn't share our values? Surely he doesn't mean our desire for our children to go to school and be physically and emotionally safe, to be lifted by the comfort of feeling they belong. He cannot mean our commitment to educational excellence and equity by closing the opportunity and the achievement gaps for all students, whoever they are, wherever they come from. How about supporting and respecting, now where is he? I have a teacher here who came out that I met blockwalking. I mean, he couldn't mean not supporting and respecting our teachers by paying them what they deserve and protecting their ability to teach the truth. I don't know about you, these are our values. And I pledge to you to keep these values up front as your trustee. I have to tell you, when I read about the Plano ISD fiasco in the paper where a few perfectly reasonable trustees, and there's some of my fellow candidates here who were running for trustee too, they were holding a listening session with concerned parents that was secretly recorded and then released online with accusations of an open meeting violation. I gotta tell you, I felt a little sick and a little scared about what I was doing here. The next day, on the front page, it was reported that Representative Matt Shaheen was going to refer that matter to the TEA for investigation. Open meeting violations, by the way, are a matter of state law, not the TEA. The next day, on the front page, I read about funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion being cut from the current public education legislation that's being discussed. Now, I don't know about you, but that made me mad. Really mad. Are you mad about that? Yes. I don't hear you. Are you mad about that? Yes. Exactly. But I'm going to tell you something that my friend, City Councilwoman Maria Tu said to me. We're not going to get mad. We're not going to scream and shout and point fingers at people. We are going to vote. Yeah. We are going to vote. We're going to bring our friends and our family and our neighbors because we have got to vote the guy who doesn't share our values out. Yeah. And now let's address another elephant in the room.
An elephant.
Elect me because trustee is not an entry-level position. This is a job for a servant leader with experience. And I have that experience. And commitment to focus on the business of educating our students, removing all the barriers to effective learning, and putting achievement back on track. So, as a successful business owner, balancing budgets and meeting payroll, I think I have the appropriate business sense to be able to go through a 100-page budget and make appropriate decisions. Almost 20 years of PTA service through field days and open houses that turn out beautifully to a hard day when everybody else on the board wanted to quit. I am still serving students and parents and teachers because I believe in the power of PTA to grow students and families. When I was a child, my mother was very shy. And she didn't want to be involved because she was scared about being with a lot of other people. She got convinced to volunteer at Hot Dog Day. I mean, we didn't have a cafeteria, so the PTA moms on Tuesdays would make hot dogs. Well, I'll tell you what, she went from making hot dogs to being the president of the PTA. She was empowered by knowing that she could count on her friends to make a difference for those kids. I am trusted by 3 nonprofit organizations to serve on their boards and be their treasurer. And your final bonus, I have the skills and experience in dispute resolution, which, believe me, I think those are going to come in handy at those board meetings. Public education was a golden ticket for my family, for my dad, for me, for my kids. The experiences my children had at Plano ISD made them the successful young people they are now. I want the kids who follow them through Plano ISD to soar, because every child's trajectory takes their family with them. I want all the good things for our kids and our educators at Plano ISD. My name is Katherine Chan Goodwin, running for Place 7. Please, please, go vote. Take your friends, take your family, take your neighbors, take your dog. Go vote for the good so our kids can win. Thank you.
I have chills. Wow. Yeah, you may remember from my list, sorry about that, it says have guts. She's got guts. This is what we need. The last speaker today is Sharon Hurst, one of our co-sponsors today for today's gathering to kick off this campaign. Most of us know Sharon as a candidate for the Texas House of Representatives, but we may not have forgotten is that Sharon's first foray into public office was as a candidate for Plano ISD's Board of Trustees. Before her active political participation was her 12 years of service as an administrative staff member on Plano ISD elementary, middle, and high school campuses. During that time, she was twice nominated for the Superintendent Service Award and was awarded Texas PTA honorary life memberships from both Rice Middle School and McMillan High School. At McMillan, she served as faculty liaison to the PTSA. She participated in the school-based improvement committee at Rice Middle School as a community member and served 3 years on a district's school health advisory committee. You may say that Sharon is a bit of a role model for us who seek to serve our community and our kids. Sharon.
Thank you. It is amazing to see so many people here. This is so exciting. And it's really fun to be at a campaign event and not be the candidate. A little less pressure. I was 19 years old a long time ago when I married my high school sweetheart. And about a week after our wedding, he started his career in public education. And that career was lasted 40 years. And it took us from snowy Minnesota to sunny Texas. And during those 40 years, we had 4 children, all doing just fine and went through the public schools. And I spent decades of my time volunteering, advocating for, and working within our school systems. I've always been a little bit frustrated because our family knew how important these school board races were. I mean, the people who sat on the dais at the school board, they determined how we did our work. They determined the quality of our kids' education. And they made a really big impact on our communities. Because I believe, like I think most of you in this room believe, that our schools are the cornerstones of our community. And they're the stepping stones to our kids' future. So this race is very important to me. And I'm here to support Katherine, but I'm also here to protect my investment. All those years of working, my family working in the school districts, and I want really great schools for my grandkids and everybody else's kids. So it's disappointing to see in many cases where there's not a lot of engagement in these school board races, but today I see so many of you here, and that's really encouraging. And it's also frustrating and maddening when individuals and people of political parties and organizations make our school districts the battleground for their culture wars. We need to fight back against that. So it's been really wonderful to hear these beautiful testimonials for Katherine, people who love her and know her very well. And I know Katherine as well, and I know she is passionate. I know she is committed, and she is truly, truly qualified for this position. And she's also going to do, and I'm going to hold her to this, what I want her to do, and to make sure that our children, every single child who walks in that door, gets the best educational experiences and opportunities that we can give them. That's their charge. Give them the very best experiences for them to go on to have the life and the future that they dream of. So today I have the task of making a big ask of you, because Katherine cannot do this by herself. And she's not doing it for herself. She's doing this for us. So when we ask folks to stand up for office, we must support them in every possible way they can. And probably the worst thing for candidates to do is to ask their friends and their families for money. So I'm going to ask you today. It used to be rather inexpensive to run for the school board or the city council, and that is no longer true. There are people coming into our communities with tens of thousands of dollars to push specific agendas. Again, we need to fight back against that. So Katherine and her team has made it very easy for you to donate. All around you see these wonderful QR codes. I don't think when I first ran that there were even QR codes, I'm not sure. But anyway, which will take you directly to her donation page. Please make a donation and consider it your investment in the children of Plano ISD. It is your investment. You are not giving Katherine a dime. You're making an investment in our kids' future. And then after you do that today, I hope you'll go home or on your smartphone, put a reminder on there for about 3 weeks out and make another donation. There's no donation that's too small, and there's definitely no donation that's too big, because Katherine has a lot of territory to cover. Plano ISD is 100 square miles, and it is home to tens of thousands of people who are registered and eligible to vote in this election. This is a super important election. She needs the resources to send out mail and literature and advertising, and none of that comes cheap. So my first ask of you is to please make a donation. And the second is to kind of sit back and consider how you can best contribute as a volunteer. I see a lot of people in here who have really big circles of influence in this community. Make an email distribution list or a phone list. Contact every single person that you know that lives in the PISD community. And you tell them that you heard Katherine Goodwin speak today, and you are sure that she is going to be a stellar, outstanding trustee. People trust you use that to ensure that Katherine gets across the finish line. And you can do that from today and all the way through May 6th, because I know and I believe quite strongly that Katherine and her team will be working until 7 o'clock on May 6th to push this election across the finish line. We would love to get together one more time and celebrate a victory for Katherine Goodwin for Plano ISD Place 7. So thank you so much. Please support Katherine with your funds, and please support Katherine with your time. Thank you very much.